Hello everyone, welcome back to tutorial. Hope you people are doing well. Thank you for stopping by. My returning subscribers, I really appreciate you all. And if you are stopping by for the first time, please don't leave without subscribing to my channel. Put on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. So today we are going to start the sewing of this school bag. The last time I posted the video of the cutting. So today we are starting the sewing tutorial. If you have not watched the cutting tutorial, please try to watch the cutting tutorial before you start the sewing tutorial. And before I forget, in the cutting tutorial, I did not tell you people the measurement of the leather I'm working with. So the measurement of the leather I worked with is 14 inches by the width. Then the length is 17 inches. It's really a very wide, big school bag. So if you are doing your own, you can vary it. You can decide to reduce it if you feel that mine is too much, and because mine is wide, it's very wide, you can reduce it to the size you want. So without taking your time, let's get started. Okay guys, welcome back. So we are going to start the sewing tutorial of this our school bag. So first I'm going to, on this I'm using this gusset leather. So I will place it on it like this. I'm going to centralize it on it and top stitch it this way and this way on this particular leather. Then while this, I'm going to place this on a lining and top stitch it. I will top stitch it from here this way. I will also top stitch from this side this way. That's what I'm going to do on this. This is the handle of my bag. What I have here is 2.5 inches by 10. So I'm folding it this way. If you like, you can put foam inside. That one is optional. So I'm going to fold it into two this way. On this pieces side, I will tape it. Then here I will just run a top stitch on it. So let's go to our sewing machine. You can see I'm done top stitching my lining on my leather. I've also top stitch lining on this. So I'm going to keep this aside now. I've sewn my belt on this. I told you I'm going to sew here, but I later changed my mind and also put by the two sides. So when you are sewing this, make sure that the allowance you have from here to here is equal to what you have from here to here. It has to be equal, so you have to take note of that. So now I'm going to keep this aside. Okay guys, now I'm going to sew my zip cloth on this. So this is the zip cloth I'm using. I'm using size 7 zip cloth, and this is my lining. So I'll put my lining this way. This is the right side of my lining. I'll put my zip cloth. The wrong side of my zip cloth will face the right side of my lining. I'll place it this way. Then take note, when you are sewing this, take note. This side is wider and this place is smaller. So it's the smaller side I'm sewing on my zip cloth. So I put it. The right side of my leather will face the right side of my zip cloth. I'll place it, arrange it, and sew. After sewing it, I'll flip it over and top stitch it. So you can see I'm done sewing my zip cloth, and I've also top stitched it round. This is my lining inside now. So next thing, you have to fold your zip cloth. Fold this way. Make sure that your zip cloth is equal and your leather is equal on this edge. You notch. I've already notched mine. You fold this one also into two to get the midpoint. I've already notched mine. So I'm going to put it, the right side of my leather will face the right side of my zip cloth. I'll put it now and sew it. After sewing it, I'll flip it over and top stitch on it. Okay, I'm done sewing it and top stitching it. This is what I have now. I've also gone ahead to fix my zip head. So now I'm going to get a lining. This is my lining now. I will place this on top of my lining. as it is now. I will pipe it round. I'll start my piping from this point. I'll pipe this way, this way, this way, this way, till I get to this point. I'm not piping here. Okay guys, you can see I'm done piping it round. So I'm going to trim off the excess lining now. So when I trim off the excess lining, we are going to sew another zipper here. Another zipper that will go with this one. A zipper is going to be here. So what I'm going to do next is you measure round this pipe. So whatever you get is what we use to decide the length of the zip cloth we are going to get for this pocket here. So first, let me trim off the excess lining first. Okay guys, I've measured round this my cord. What I got is 30 inches. So I'm going to put gusset here, about 22.5 inches gusset from here to here. So if I put 2.5 inches here, 2.5 inches, that makes it 5 inches. So from that my 30, I'm minusing 5 inches. So it will remain 25 inches. So the zip cloth I'm going to cut will be 25 inches plus the joining allowance you will use on this side and on this side, because you need to join it to the gusset. Likewise, my gusset, the 2.5 inches, I will not cut exactly 2.5 inches. I will also add the joining allowance I will use to join it to my zipper here. I will also cut joining allowance I will use to join it to my zip on this side. The wideness is the zip cloth, my zip cloth, that will determine the wideness of my gusset. So that's what we are going to do now. Okay guys, I've cut out my zip cloth and also the gusset. So I've already fixed my zip head. Don't forget it before you sew 2 times. I'm going to put my leather here, right side of my leather facing the right side of my zip cloth. I will stitch it over here. After stitching, I'll flip it over and top stitch. I will also bring the second one, put it this way, sew it. After sewing it, I'll flip it over and top stitch. So I'm done sewing my gusset. This is what I have. I did not line it. If you want, you can line yours. So now you have to bring the two together, the two joining place together like this, and get your middle, the middle of the zip cloth. I want to notch it now. You bring it together this way, stretch it, and notch it on the 2 sides. Notch here. Return it to this place. Make sure it's equal here, and also notch it. So I've notched the midpoint. You bring this, fold it into 2 also. Make sure that this your zipper is equal. See it? You see everything now? So as it is like this, you notch your midpoint or indicate your midpoint. So the next thing now is you bring this zipper right side to right side of your zipper to the right side of your leather. Put the 2 notch points together. Then take it to your sewing machine and sew it round. So I'm done sewing my zip cloth on it. If you can see, I have some excess. So if you, after making your own and you have excess, you go ahead and trim off the excess. So I'm trimming off the excess now. So I will use my bias belt to tape it round now. Okay, I'm done taping it round. So now is the time for us to sew these 3 inches that we cut that time. So you open your leather this way. You place this one right side facing each other. You can as well notch it to get the midpoint. This now, the belt is the midpoint. This red color here is the midpoint, or you can also notch it. You place it midpoint to midpoint, then you put your lining. Right side of your lining should be under. You put your right side, the right side of your lining should be under. You place it this way and stitch it down. You just stitch it down. So I'm done stitching it together. This is what I have. So I'm going to move my lining this way. I'll also move my leather this way. So now if you want to top stitch, you go ahead and top stitch here. If you don't want to top stitch, you can leave it like this, but me, I'm going to top stitch mine. So I'm going to my machine now to top stitch it this way and this way. So now this is what we have after top stitching. So you trim off the excess. Okay, now I've already notched the midpoint of this. Just fold it into two equal parts. Make sure it's equal on this place. Then you notch. I've already notched mine. So I'm going to put it right side facing each other on this my zipper. Remember, I've already notched my zipper before. I will fix it this way and stitch it down, and stitch from here to here also down. That's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I've done sewing my leather. If you watch, I didn't complete the sewing. I like doing mine this way. If there's another way you can do yours, you can as well do it. You can measure it round and decide where you want your gusset to get to. So now, for this particular one now, I want my gusset to stop this place that this one stopped, this point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take note of where it stopped, which is here. I will leave my sewing allowance before I cut off the excess. Then I will measure from here to this point and add joining allowance to it. That's what I'm going to do now. What I did here is what I'm going to do on this place. As I folded it this way, that is where it will stop, but I will add joining allowance before I cut off this. Then I'll measure from here to this point and add joining allowance. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm done sewing it. You can see it now. You can see that it's equal now. So you just flip it over, and I top stitched on it. This is for this side. So you just flip it over this way and complete your sewing. I will also do same, flip it over this way and complete my sewing. Okay, I'm done sewing it now. This is it. You can see it's equal on both sides. You can see it. You can see it here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to tape it round. I'll use my belt and tape it round. So after taping it, I will open it up the way it is now. I will place it on my lining to cut out lining. After cutting out the lining, I will pipe it round. That means I will put it on top of my lining and use my piping cord to pipe it round. Okay guys, I'm done piping my work round. So this is what I have for my front now. So I'm going to place it on my leather to cut out the back leather. Remember, I've not cut out the back leather. So I place it on my leather to cut out the back leather and also cut two linings. Two linings because it's going to have two gussets, big one and small one. So I'm going to cut all these things out now. So guys, we are going to stop this tutorial here for today. I don't want the video to be too lengthy, so the sewing is going to be in two parts. Next time we will continue with the joining of the two gussets and also sewing of the handles to the back leather. Thank you for watching to this extent. Bye and God bless you all.